an incredible day. And today I'm with my fantastic fiance Hans.
Yeah, hello.
And if you're wondering what we're doing with this bucket in front of us, guys, well, we're not going to talk a load of rubbish to you. Yeah. What it is today, we're going to talk to you about how you can lower the pH of your water. If you're living in an area where you can't get rainwater and you have no alternative but to use tap water. Now, not all tap water's bad. If you're lucky enough to have tap water that has anything sort of below the 6.5 pH range, then that's sort of okay to use for cacti succulents. But most tap water, including the tap water here in Ireland, usually is a lot harder than that. And our tap water is anything sort of like from 7 upwards. It can be really hard. And we're lucky enough that where we live here in Ireland, we usually have an abundance of rainwater. So that the cacti succulents love that. We never run out. But obviously, we have had an amazing spell of weather this spring, haven't we?
Heat wave.
A heat wave. As you can see how we dress, it is gorgeous, guys. Hans is nearly nude. And we've actually run out of rainwater. Can you believe it, in Ireland? So what Hans does now, I have done a video on the pH of water before, and I'll put links up above to that. It goes into a little bit more information about the pH of water and the importance of it. And what I normally do in the very rare occasions I run out of rainwater is, in the past I've used white vinegar, acetic acid, to bring down the pH, but it's very messy, it's extremely hard to get hold of, and it weighs a ton, especially if you're trying to buy a bottle of it. So getting it off eBay, it's expensive and it's hard to find. But Hans is full of amazing information here, and we were talking about that, about the pH. And Hans brought over from Sweden with him some sulfuric acid ammoniac crystals, which you use to bring down the pH of water. And the reason why we want to do this video is not only will it help you out if you run out of rainwater, but also I get asked many times on the channel, Lynn, I live in an apartment, or I live somewhere in a busy city, I haven't got clean rainwater. What can I use? The pH is high, and I really have not been able to give an answer for that other than perhaps white vinegar. But in this case, Hans has told me about the sulfuric acid, and it is brilliant, guys. We tried it out. It brings the pH of the tap water right down. It's far more convenient, far more practical, and I'd imagine it's pretty easy to get on eBay as well. So we'll look into that a bit more. But Hans is going to explain to you a little bit about how the sulfuric acid works.
Yes, and what you're going to see now is very simple as well. Here I have a jar, or what do you call it here?
Yeah, a jar, that's right. Yeah.
Whiskey in a jar, not in this one.
Whiskey would be better.
I have to tell a little story. My father in Sweden, have raspberries, and they need a pH of 5, and we haven't that in the garden. So he get this stuff. In Sweden we call it svavelsur ammoniak, and that you can have to lower the pH value. So here we go. Please.
As I say, we use this rubbish bin, as they say, as commonly known.
Here we
well,
have
normally our rainwater.
Here we have tap water, and we know since a long time ago that it's too high to use this direct for cacti and plants who need a low pH. So we have to lower
the pH. Yep.
pH. And I can see here it's about 60 liter water in this, and I think if you see now.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yay.
All for now. But
so it's all to do with the measurements you see, and it all depends obviously on the litres and whether you go by litres and everything. Give it a good stir.
Yeah. This is very easy to when they come in water, they lose up, or what do you?
Yeah, dissolve.
Yeah. Direct, but I will.
Give it a good stir around
Yeah.
anyway. And if you want to know
Circulate it, so-
why it's
No, we
important to
haven't-
have a low pH for cacti, is that in the past, many years ago, I used to lose a lot of cacti. Their roots, I wasn't overwatering, and I was doing everything that I thought was right. And I used to lose the roots on them, and apparently cacti like to have a much lower pH of anything from between 5 to 6.5. And higher than that, eventually watering with hard water brings the pH of the soil too hard, and it does decay and rot the roots away. So some cacti are a lot more hardier to higher pHs than others, but personally, be on the safe side, rainwater always. And if not in this case, we're using the sulfuric acid ammoniac crystals to raise the pH down.
And we have it in a black bucket here, and that because the tap water are not in nearness of warm. It's ice cold, you know. So we
Comes
have
out freezing, doesn't
it? In a black bucket outside and in the sun. So the
Room
temperature
temperature.
is
Outdoor
very nice.
temperature.
Yeah. I could easily take a bath in this now.
That'd
And
be
it's
lovely,
very
wouldn't it?
beautiful, yeah. And
Oh, yes,
if you have this temperature, you never give the roots a shock.
No.
No,
That's
so
another
it's
thing, because
cool,
they don't often say that. You don't hear people saying never use water directly. I always use, we always use it at room temperature. We fill up from the water bucket here, which is kept
And
outside.
go to
normally.
yourself, I don't think you want to bath in a tap water
It would shock you,
directly from
wouldn't
the
it?
cold tap. No.
Yeah.
So it's same with plants.
It can really get them to go into shock with the roots. So we always make sure we fill up the watering cans from the rainwater bucket here, and we leave it indoors overnight when we're watering the plants and that. As I said, this time of year it's warm outside, so it's not a problem. But
And I think we success with our plants.
we have success, we do, and Hans is so knowledgeable. I'm learning so much from him, guys, because he's been growing cacti succulents since he was a little boy, and a long time, which is fantastic. So I'm learning tons. So there you go, guys. And we're not going to go into measurements and how much litres and all that, because it will have that. It's very sort of depends on what brands you're getting and everything like that, isn't it? Basically, all you need to do is add as much to bring the pH down to about 6. Ideally, 6.0 is the ideal range.
And check with the paper.
Yeah, check with the paper. So that's the best advice. I can't say use, 1 tablespoon to this. It really depends, because your tap water is going to be totally different to our tap water. So basically you want to use as much until you get the pH down to the minimum of about 6.0. 6.5 at the highest.
Yeah, the highest.
Yeah, the highest. Ideally 6.0. And that's
In
really it.
Sweden, we call it litmus paper. I don't know.
Yeah, litmus paper.
Yeah.
We have the here as well, the litmus
Alright.
paper. And the pH strips. As I say, explain more about pH in the link up above to a video that I made special on pH. That goes into all about that. So that's not about this in here. And explains about the paper. They're really easy to get on eBay as well. So, and cheap as anything to get. Easy enough. So that's all. So guys, if you live in an apartment or you can't get rainwater, that's all you need to do. And this is all ready to use now. And we're going to fill up the buckets, give all our cacti and succulents,
And I say, hooray!
hooray! A good old watering. So as you say, we are lucky. We nearly always have rainwater here in Ireland. But as you say, it's been like this now for a number of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We're not complaining, mind you, gosh, but it's sometimes we run out of water.
It's a
but
desert weather, yeah.
desert weather, God, if it's like this all the time, we'd have all the plants going out. It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? So guys, we hope you found that useful, and we want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of cactus and plant power! Yay!
As always
from Ireland.
Ireland.
And until the next video, guys.